Chapter 3 Risk Assessment and Internal Control. Unit 1 Internal Control. Meaning of internal control. As per SA 315, internal control may be defined as policies or process or procedures or set of activities that is designed, implemented and maintained by TCWG management and other personnel to obtain reasonable assurance about the achievement of entity's objective. Examples of objective for which controls can be designed. First, safeguarding of assets, reliability of entities' financial reporting, compliance with applicable laws and regulation, effectiveness and efficiency of entities' operation. Inherent limitations of internal control. Internal control, no matter how effective they are, can only provide reasonable assurance due to certain inherent limitation. First, human judgment involved in decision making. It can be intentional or unintentional human error that may lead to breakdown of entire internal control. Lack of understanding about the purpose of internal control. Sometimes employees in charge may lack understanding about the reasons or purpose for which the controls are designed. It may lead to ineffectiveness of internal control. Collusion among people. Sometimes entities' employees may collude together to override entities' internal control. For example, side agreements with customers or suppliers. Limitation in case of smaller entities. If an organization has very few employees, it may be difficult to ensure segregation of duties. However, in such organizations, owner-manager may be able to exercise more effective oversight, that is supervised, than in case of larger entity. Management is expected to use its judgment for designing and implementing entities' internal control. Their judgment may not always be appropriate. Benefits of understanding internal control for statutory auditor. It will help in designing nature, timing and extent of further audit procedures. It will help in it will help in identifying and analyzing those factors which may result into risk of material misstatement. Components of internal control. Control environment, entities, risk assessment process includes risk identification also. Control activities, information system which includes related business processes that are relevant to financial reporting and communication. Monitoring of controls. First, control environment. GATE is the keyword, GATE. It includes governance and management functions. It includes attitude, awareness and actions of TCWG along with the management. Control environment sets the tone of an organization, that is making people aware or conscious about the relevance of internal control. Elements of control environment. PMCDH is the keyword. Participation by TCWG to ensure that entities' control environment is appropriately designed. Management's philosophy and operating style has a significant impact on entities' overall control environment. Communication and enforcement of integrity and ethical values to the people working in the organization. For example, reward and punishment mechanism for compliance and non-compliance of internal control. Designing an appropriate organization structure depending upon the size and nature of the business activities. Human resource policies and procedures such as recruitment, training, counseling, performance evaluation, compensation, promotion, etc. impacts the overall control environment of the organization. Existence of satisfactory control environment is not an absolute deterrent to fraud. Answer: EDPDC is the keyword. Existence of satisfactory control environment can be a positive factor while assessing the risk of material misstatement. This may also help in reducing the overall risk of fraud, but it is not an absolute deterrent to fraud. Deficiencies in control environment may significantly undermine or negatively affect the effectiveness of internal control. Control environment by itself does not prevent or detect and correct a material mistake. For prevention, detection and correction, appropriate controls will be needed. However, control environment may influence auditors' evaluation of effectiveness of internal control. Second, entities risk assessment process, USLG. Okay. Yes. So, auditors should understand the entity's process of identifying business risk relating to their financial reporting objectives. How do they estimate the significance of risk? How do they assess likelihood of their occurrence? How do they decide about actions to address those risks? Third, control activities. PPSPP is the keyword. Control activities are policies and procedures. that help the management to ensure that their business objectives can be achieved. Control activities may include the following: segregation of duties, physical access controls for safeguarding the assets, performance reviews. Fourth, monitoring of controls. It is a process to assess the effectiveness of internal control performance over a period of time. Management may accomplish monitoring of control through ongoing evaluations, separate evaluations, or a combination of both. Information system. Fifth, information system. Auditors should understand the entity's information system, which includes all business processes relevant to financial reporting. Information system may include identification of class of transaction relevant that are significant to financial statement. For example, any activity relating to purchase, sale, etc. Information system should include a detailed process regarding a transaction, that is, how transactions are initiated, recorded, processed, corrected if necessary, and reported. Financial reporting process used to prepare financial statements should be part of entity's information system. There should be controls around all types of journal entries. All internal control may not be relevant. This is another point. 6 point. All internal control may not be relevant for the purpose of statutory audit. Another point. Factors to be kept in mind while determining which controls are relevant for audit: materiality, size of entity, nature of the entity's business, applicable legal and regulatory requirements, significance of related risk. Another point. Examples of controls which may be relevant for the purpose of statutory audit: controls over completeness and accuracy of information generated from the system, internal control designed for safeguarding of assets. They can be either physical access or logical access control. Another point. Evaluation of internal control, that is, tools to review internal control system. A. Narrative record. This is a complete and exhaustive description of the system as found in the operation by the auditor. It is recommended in the case where no formal control system is in operation. It is more suited to small businesses. Disadvantages are: to comprehend system in operation is quite difficult, to identify weakness in the system, to incorporate changes arising due to reshuffling of manpower. B. Checklist. This is a series of instructions and or questions which a member of audit staff must follow and or answer. Answers to checklist instructions are usually yes, no, or not applicable. Complete checklist is studied by principal manager senior to ascertain the existence of internal control and evaluate its implementation and efficiency. Example of checklist instructions: are tenders called before placing orders? Are purchases made on the basis of written order? C. Internal control questionnaire. This is a comprehensive series of questions concerning internal control. This is the most widely used form for collecting information about existence, operation, and efficiency of internal control in an organization. Review can more easily be made on an interim basis. In the questionnaire, generally questions are so framed that a yes answer denotes satisfactory position and a no answer denotes weakness. Provision is made for an explanation or further detail of no answer. In respect of questions not relevant to the business, not applicable reply is given. Questionnaire is usually issued to clients and the client is requested to get it filled by the concerned executives and employees. Flowchart. It is a graphic representation. D. Flowchart. It is a graphic representation of company's system of internal control. It is the most concise way of recording auditor's review. It gives bird's eye view of the system and the flow of transaction, and the integration and in documentation can be easily spotted and improvements can be suggested. This will help you to understand and evaluate internal control in the correct perspective.